Hello, my name is Annika Lundqvist, and I am the founder of Pedestrian Space, which is an NGO that's dedicated to issues of walkability, but more broadly, urban resilience. And we are currently designing a sustainable urbanism and planetary health curriculum. And for the year of 2027, we are looking to do a deep dive into the topic of urban heat, which is a issue and a escalating stressor for cities across the world. I'm here today with Boaz Caputi, who is currently based in Padova in Italy, doing the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master student in climate change and sustainable territorial development program. It sounds really interesting. And he is one of many students who has responded to my call for internships, academic internships, which we do at Pedestrian Space, supporting scholarly and creative inquiry and research on issues of urban resilience. And I'm really happy with the response we've had for the urban heat pilot. And I'm excited talking with Boaz because, well, you have an idea for a master's thesis focus that connects directly to this issue that will also connect to your academic internship that you can do with Pedestrian Space. So I will turn it over to you to allow you to share a bit about your research and topic, and how did you conceptualize it? What was your motivation?
Okay, thank you. As I said, I am Boaz Caputi. I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo, but currently I'm based in Italy, in Padova, where I'm conducting my Erasmus Mundus program on climate change and sustainable territorial development. And my master thesis will be on trying to check if the concept of 50-minute cities can resist to the um, climate challenge. For example, with the heat wave, if during that period, the concept can still be applied in our cities, because the 50-minute concept is based on the accessibility as well as with the distance. But I want to see if this concept during the heat wave, for example, during the summer, is still applicable. Because in the summer, the distance can still be the same, but people can be tired of going to, for example, to the grocery, buying some stuff because it's very hot, and this can cause them to stay home, not going out, or to go back in the car dependencies. But I want to see if this is real. So, because I know that during the summer, the distance is not only the only one factor that we need to consider for saying that the area is accessible. We need also to take other factors. And in my research, I will try to work with community to try to ask them how they behave during the heat wave period, if the region where they are living, they are still accessible based on the thermal comfort, if they can still access the services or the commodity during that period. But after that, I would also work with them to try to map all those areas that have some thermal comfort for making a map, like a kind of citizen sciences, for making a map that can be shared with other people as well as municipality, for trying to identify areas that are good for working during summer or during heat wave, and those who are not good, for trying to propose some projects for cooling those regions. And some activities can also involve students who are working in the topic, collecting data, trying to translate those data into policy evidence solution for the cities. And my background with GIS, I think, can also be very interesting because I've worked with GIS in indigenous community in my country. And I think that will really help me to do those activities as well as to power community to be engaged in these activities.
That sounds really interesting. And I am myself, as you wrote, you knew that we were already engaged with the 15-minute city framework. And I am incredibly interested myself in thermal comfort, what manifests as thermal comfort for different residents. Of course, green space, parks, these types of things you can easily think of, but what are the diversity of thermal comfort settings in a neighborhood, in an urban quarter that can contribute to mitigation and a better quality of life. And as we know, it's a massive public health, issue with urban heat stress. So what I'd be really curious about that with the thermal comfort in the context of the 15-minute city.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Because it is, excuse me, because it is also the fact of climate justice. As we know, climate affect people in a different way, depending on your level in the society. Those who don't have a lot of resources, they just face the impact of climate change. And those who have some resources, they have some alternative for dealing with this. So trying to consider also this aspect of climate in the 15 minutes concept will also try to make sure that we are living in the equitable world where climate affects not only, we're all trying to make the best of us for reducing the impact of climate change.
yeah, I think this is a really, really necessary study. So I am looking forward to collaborating with you. And as I understand, your geography is not yet set. Your project on this will start in some months' time, but your geography is not still yet set. You haven't decided on a city, so there's some suspense with what geographic area you will choose. So that's still open, and I look forward to welcoming you and collaborating with you and see the research that you develop.
Yeah, really. Just to add something, I'm really interested also in this topic because in my second semester, I was in Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou. Over there, it's extremely hot. And I really experienced because I'm from Congo. Congo is the Central Africa. The temperature is quite high, but not like in the Sahel. And I really experienced, a first-hand experience how the extreme heat wave can impact the social life of people in Burkina Faso, and those people they have those different way of trying to adapt to deal with the situation. And coming back here in Italy, also during the summer, it was like my first summer in Europe. I also see how European people try to cope with this situation. So I have a kind of a broad vision of how like vulnerable community deal with the issues and how also those who have some resources in Europe deal with the same issues.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. We already have for this pilot, we already have a number of collaborators in sub-Saharan Africa. So that'll be interesting to see sort of the African network develop, but it's global. The pilot is global. So as you know, you're from DRC, but based in Italy, I think we're going to have a lot of people like that. So I think that experience of different regions and heat stress and how you experience it in DRC versus how you're experiencing it in Padova in Italy is going to be really interesting backdrop for the actual research you do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks.